Badge number.
Well, I hope it is.
Let's
take a photograph of it, please.
Yeah. Just wondering. I've got to prove it. Obviously, I don't know you from Adam. You could be someone just who's
Well, we're not going to do this for fancy dress, are we? Right. As my colleague explained, the reason why we stop you is because you fit the description of somebody acting suspiciously. Right? Now, you've given a legitimate reason why you're here.
Yeah.
Right. But we need to see some ID and some proof that you are here legitimately.
No, I understand that.
Can you see that, please?
I understand that, but on another term, I have actually got human rights.
Is that your vehicle there?
Nope.
Okay. So, what form of identification have you got on you to say you're actually canvassing?
I've got ID on me, but I don't have to legally show it here because I've not committed a crime.
Right.
Obviously,
we've
had a phone call about what said it's suspicious mail, so we need to ascertain whether you say you are, but I take it you're not going to give us your name.
I get this every week.
Verify. Yeah, but you've got to appreciate we get calls from members.
No, I understand that, but I'm doing a job. I'm paying me taxes. I'm earning money. Yeah. I mean, I don't understand. I have not committed a crime.
If you were calling us, surely you'd want us to follow it up, wouldn't you? That's why we've been sent here, to follow it up. We want to be rest assured when we leave here today that you're not up to anything suspicious.
Acting on nothing more than a vague phone report, without clear evidence of any wrongdoing, does not automatically justify stopping someone or demanding identification. The officer's insistence on confirming the auditor's identity raises concerns, especially when there was no indication that he had provided false information. The auditor simply exercised a legal right by declining to identify himself where no specific offense had been established. The key issue is that the officers failed to clearly explain any lawful basis for their actions, relying on an unverified third-party claim to pursue someone's identity without evidence of misconduct risks crossing the line from legitimate policing into unnecessary intrusion.
I understand it in that way, but I'm not...
Your name gives you ID, we could ring SafeStar, say, and confirm...
Well, you can ring SafeStar and you can ask them if you've got canvases in this area and they'll validate who I am.
And what's your name?
Obviously, I'm not giving it out.
Well, when I ring up SafeStar UK and say you've got canvases and they say
they know I'm in this office, they know I'm around here. Because we get issued to a certain area and they keep both names of the people.
So where's your ID card?
It is on me, but I don't have to show it. I've not committed a crime.
We're going round in circles here, aren't we, chap?
No, I don't mean human rights, mate. I've not committed a crime. Obviously, you're putting me under alarm and distress now. You both cover it going round there. Obviously, you're trying to say that I have to show my ID.
You're putting me under alarm and distress.
How am I?
You are ID. We've shown you our ID. So
yeah, but end of the day, you're a public servant.
Rather than accepting that the auditor was under no legal obligation to provide identification, the officers continued pressing the issue and then strangely suggested that his refusal was causing them concern. That claim is difficult to reconcile with the reality of the situation. A calm individual asserting a lawful right should not be treated as a problem simply because he declines a request that lacks a clear legal basis. Pointing out that they had shown their own identification misses the point entirely. The real issue is their repeated attempts to obtain his personal details without properly explaining the ground for doing so. Instead of addressing the lawful refusal, they shifted the focus away from their own conduct, creating a narrative that overlooked the central question. When officers cannot accept a lawful answer and continue pushing beyond what is justified, it reflects poor judgment and raises serious concerns about professional standards.
Listen, chap, I may be a public servant, but I'm not your servant.
No, I didn't say you were my servant, did I?
Okay.
I said, but if you're walking around with a police uniform, it gives you powers.
Stop going on about YouTube. It's like this public servant, okay? I'm not a servant. I'm a police officer.
Yeah.
Okay?
Which means, but you serve the public.
I'm a police officer.
Right.
Okay. Police officer. I'm not a servant.
Yeah.
So let's get that quite clear before we start.
Well, there's no need to get angry, is there? Because now you're putting me under alarm and distress. Now I feel.
The officer's remark, suggesting that being a public servant does not mean serving the public, reflects a troubling attitude toward the responsibilities that come with the role. It gives the impression of someone focused more on authority than public service, which is at the heart of effective policing. What makes the comment even more concerning is the context in which it was made, following repeated pressure and an apparent unwillingness to acknowledge the auditor's lawful position. The tone comes across as dismissive and unnecessarily confrontational, creating an impression of distance rather than accountability. Rather than helping to ease tensions, the response risks undermining public confidence and leaves the encounter feeling far more adversarial than it needed to be.
What, you feel threatened?
Yeah, hence why I'm recording it, just in
That's
case
fine.
any of you's trying
That's
anything cheeky.
That's fine.
I've had it before where police has thrown me on the floor for asking him, have you got ID?
So police officers thrown you on the floor?
Yeah.
And that's what I do.
I've asked for him. I've asked for him.
Very strange.
Well, not all coppers are legitimate, are they? Not all coppers are nice. So at this moment in time, am I detained?
Yes, you are.
What for? What am I being detained for? Have I committed a criminal offence? I've not committed a criminal offence. How can you detain me? Because then you're holding me hostage. You're now restricting my free way of movement because now you're saying I'm being detained for a crime I've not committed. I will just literally. I'll send this to me my lawyer, mate. This is going straight to my lawyer.
First things first, we're recording it.
Yeah.
Has it just picked up the that you just said to me?
Yeah.
Right. This is your first and last warning. You swear at me again, you'll be arrested. Do you understand me?
Yeah, but I'm asking why am I being detained?
Listen to me. Are you going to listen?
I'll listen, but I want you to listen to my point of view.
Detained at this moment in time.
Yeah.
So we can speak to the caller.
Yeah.
Because as I said, you fit the description of a person seen acting suspiciously.
Yeah.
Right? Now, until we speak to the caller and fathom out what the caller says to us, you're not going anywhere.
Right, so you're detaining me against my own will from a crime that I've not committed.
This situation raises serious questions about the use of police powers. Relying solely on a report that someone appeared suspicious, without clearly identifying any specific offense, is a weak basis for restricting a person's freedom. The officer appears to suggest that the detention will continue until they are satisfied with their inquiries. But lawful detention requires more than uncertainty or assumption. Police action should be supported by clear and objective grounds, not simply by an unverified allegation. The concern here is that the auditor is being treated as though he must prove his innocence rather than officers first establishing a valid reason for their intervention. That approach risks undermining the principles of fairness and accountability that are essential to public trust.
Are you going to admit that now on camera, that you're detaining me when I've not committed an offence?
I'm detaining you till we speak to the caller.
Yeah.
See exactly what the caller says you have or haven't done.
Right, but technically you can't detain someone if they've not committed a crime, because then that's holding them against their own will.
Well, once we speak to the caller,
yeah, but now
the crime has been committed, then I will tell you what's going to happen next.
So you're actually admitting you've illegally detained me for a crime I've not committed?
We haven't illegally detained you.
Well, if you've not detained me, then I'm free to go.
Tell you what, walk up there and we'll follow you then if you need to speak to you again.
But then it's harassing.
Off you go.
But then it's harassing.
It's not harassing.
No, what I'm saying is, if you'd like to leave,
Right.
if you'd like to leave now and walk whichever way you like, carry on. And if I need to speak to you at a different time, I'll come after you and have a word.
Rather than addressing the auditor's concern about whether the interaction was legally justified, the officer responds with a suggestion that only raises further questions. Proposing to simply follow someone after they have made it clear they wish to continue on their way does little to resolve the issue and risks creating an impression of unnecessary pressure. Instead of providing a clear legal basis for stop, the focus shifts toward continued monitoring without explaining why it is required. This approach can appear more intimidating than reassuring and may undermine confidence in the fairness of the encounter. When officers rely on persistence rather than clearly defined grounds, it can leave the public questioning whether the response is proportionate, reasonable, and consistent with professional standards.
I'll just put a complaint in. I'll just put a complaint into IPCC.
That's fine. That's fine.
Because obviously you're illegally detaining me for a crime I've not committed. So obviously, like I'm going to ask again, am I being detained for a crime? Because obviously now no one's answering. If I'm not being detained for a crime...
I'm in the process of speaking to your manager.
Right.
If you'd like to walk away, you are free to walk away. And if I detain us a crime, I will come after you, won't I? It's up to you, sir.
I'm not going to turn me back. I'm not going to turn me back on officers so you can body slam me.
Do what you'd like. I don't think I'm capable of body slamming.
Hey, there's police out there that body slam people for the fun of it.
When he's asked for an officer's ID.
So you've illegally detained me, you call me a liar. Yeah, but now you've also illegally detained me. So wait until IPC.
Wait, we're going around in circles. Twice I've said, if you'd like to walk away, walk away.
Well, just for the camera, have I been committed as a crime? Right, so I've not committed a crime, so well, you've given me permission to walk away. I'm not, mate. I'm not, mate. Now you're making lies about me. You've also illegally detained me, like I said before, when he says you're now detained. For what crime? He couldn't give me a crime. So he's legally detained me on the spot. He's also kept me hostage. So I do know my rights, and this will be going to IPCC. I will be sending it to Miller. I'll wait until it's all over line. I don't need the log number. I've got your badge numbers. Because I don't trust it. I don't trust the fact I can walk away with you.
I've been showing this your ID in the first instance. I don't think it would have taken this long. So when you're talking about being...
Yeah, but my right, I don't have to show my ID if I've not committed a crime or I'm on suspicion of crime. I've not committed a crime. I'm working.
The officer's suggestion that the situation could have been avoided if the auditor had simply provided identification misses the central issue entirely. The question was never about convenience, but whether there was a lawful basis for demanding those details in the first place. The auditor explained his position, stated that he was carrying out legitimate activity, and chose to exercise a right available to him, rather than addressing those points. The responsibility for the ongoing encounter was shifted onto the individual who declined the request. This reflects a concerning approach where disagreement is treated as a problem, instead of carefully assessing whether the original demand was justified. When officers view a lawful refusal as an obstacle rather than a right, it can lead to unnecessary escalation and undermine confidence in fair and balanced policing.
Just go and join benefits.
You could have less time to work 10 minutes ago and you could have gone on your way then, couldn't you? So
we'll have to go so we don't body
Take the
slam.
log.
Sorry, don't body slam.
before you get that urge.
Yeah. Okay. So, that's what I said.
Patience.
Free to go, Sam?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for you to leave.
I took them to a criminal court and a civil court. At the criminal court, I was awarded £35,000 because of the incorrect ways and the way they did the jobs, which was performed illegally. Officer Stephen Haynes, PC Jarvis and PC Warwick. One of them was suspended for 2 months with further investigation. One of them was fired, and the other one was given a slap on the wrist and was allowed to still do the job, but under investigation by their own force.
The £35,000 compensation payout was a significant outcome that highlighted the seriousness of this case and the concerns raised about how the situation was handled. The disciplinary actions that followed showed that the incident went far beyond a simple misunderstanding and prompted important questions about decision-making, procedure, and accountability. From the outset, the interaction appeared to be driven by suspicion rather than clearly established facts, leading to a confrontation that escalated unnecessarily. Instead of focusing on clear communication and lawful justification, the encounter became increasingly adversarial, leaving the impression that authority was taking precedence over professionalism. Throughout the incident, the auditor remained firm in his position and consistently challenged actions he believed lacked proper justification. Regardless of where viewers stand on the debate, the case serves as a reminder of the importance of transparency, accountability, and understanding legal rights during public interactions. It also highlights why informed citizens and professional policing are both essential to maintaining public trust. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Also, check out Colonel Audit through the link in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.